All right, then. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. This is the musings part of the Musings and Music show. It's a special edition. I haven't ever had this before. I've only had maybe one guest. Now I have a couple. I refer to them as a power couple. You know how people talk about Beyonce and Jay-Z? That's their thing. For me, this is my own power couple right here. I don't need to go look for anybody else. So you see me with this, my big old hair ties. This is my last box. Brought it out for this couple that you see right here. I have my own way I could tell you about them, but I would rather they introduce themselves on their own. So ladies and gentlemen, then I'll start with the lady and then we'll go on to the gentleman. So who are we looking at right here? Who's this pretty face we have in front of us?
You're looking at Laura Ayuktakem Fote.
Mm-hmm.
That is the baby.
Mm-hmm. And so who's the lucky dude sitting right next to her?
Bertrand Fote.
All right. And then I'm going to ask, so how are you brother and sister? Are you cousins? What's the deal for those who don't know, who may not know?
She's my darling, my everything.
Oh,
My lovely wife, Laura, aka my boss.
uh-huh. And how does Laura describe herself? You better describe yourself just as lovingly because he's poured out his heart and soul. Let me hear whether you will reciprocate so I can give marks.
Well, I'm very innovative, loving, and caring.
There you go. And then, so now, quite curious, just curious, when did you two meet?
The way we met, I would say, is divine intervention.
Oh, wow.
And we give everything to God.
And then no wonder that I see all of these smiles there, because if you have a foundation that is God in any union, in anything you do, it's sure to succeed. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks or anyone says. If God is the source and God is the foundation, it's bound to succeed. There's no way else. Where else it will go. Success is sure to come your way. Now, and just asking, how long have you both been married?
Going on 7 years.
That's right.
Wow. You see, and I'm asking some
Who's counting, right?
Yeah. You see, I know some of the answers to these questions, but I'm saying them for the benefit, asking them for the benefit of the audience listening, so they get an idea of who it is that we have in front of us and why they stand out as a couple. But the reason that they're here is not really because of the fact that they are a couple as such. It's because of something, I don't know if you're aware of it, you may be, you may not be, something called L&B concepts. So for those who don't know it, what is L&B concepts? I don't know if anybody has picked up on the L and the B, the letters of the alphabet yet. Just in case somebody is there going, what is that? What would you say it is, Laura?
L&B concepts, L stands for Laura, B stands for Bertrand. And L&B concept is a luxury party rental.
Mm-hmm.
One of our businesses based in Laurel, Maryland.
Okay, people hear party rental. People are listening to us everywhere on the planet, from everywhere on the planet. What do they mean luxury rental? Are we renting cars? What are we renting, Bertrand?
We rent pretty much every equipment that you need for an event, be it a corporate event, be it a wedding or any other, private event. Anything from chairs to china, to cutlery, foodware, anything that you need to make your event truly unique. And that's what we do. And luxury because our equipment is truly unique. We want to make sure that our clients have an experience that can bring their dreams into reality. And so we take a lot of effort to make sure that we can only get the best of the best innovative ideas and that we bring to our clients.
That's awesome. So it means, if I get it right, this is not the same thing as people know about event planners. So somebody doesn't say, I have this wedding or I have this party, and then come and just say, okay, come, and I leave it all into your hands to do, Laura. That is not what it is, right? If I understood Bertrand right, he's saying it is rental. So how does it really work? What's the process like?
So the process is we do all the rentals like he has said, and we do collaborate with event planners.
Okay.
So if you come there, you rent stuff from us, and you want, if you require us to do your event, we have a list of event planners whom we do refer to do your decor, to do your setup and stuff like that.
Oh, that is smart. That is smart right there. You see, so somebody can end up with a one-stop shop.
Correct.
They have an event to, that is really smart. You have an event to think about. So you came there for rentals. Well, they tell you, okay, where are you planning on having this event? You have somebody that you can say, somebody has this hall that you could use. And then where do they need the actual food itself? Because you have the China, but food's got to go on the China. So you have names that you can refer them to. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. We do have caterers, we do have photographers, you name it.
Wow.
So it could be definitely a one-stop shop. And we also do have, for example, if you haven't yet gotten your suit, if it's your wedding or whatever event it is, we also do collaborate with, partnered with Don Murphy. And
Oh
he
wow,
does,
that's a
yes,
good name.
correct. He does custom design suits for men. And also with Asa Zenabo, she does wedding gowns and evening gowns for women as well. So it's definitely a one-stop shop.
All right, that really is good. So somebody just says, "Hey, I have this coming up," and then you see you've done the vetting for them.
Correct.
You
Correct.
see, because you're not doing what we call tumbu tumbu, like, okay, go open the yellow pages back in the day. This name, it sounds like a good name. Let me just call them and see, and you get disappointed. Because by the time you have that list of people, you vetted them and you know they do good work. Because if they don't do good work, it reflects on you. If they're not satisfied,
Correct.
that is such a neat thing. I'm blown away by it because there are people who. So, what kind of clientele do you tend to have out there in the? You say you're based in Maryland.
Correct.
That's correct. Yes.
So, would you? Is it mostly people in that Maryland area? Would you fly out to somewhere for somebody? Would you? How does it work? Must you be in the like the DC metro area only?
Not necessarily. Primarily, obviously, we serve the DMV area primarily. That's where we are. But clients anywhere that want good, customer service, that want good equipment, that want to have a taste of luxury and to experience the dreams, we can make anything happen.
Oh,
Absolutely.
so you would have transportation. You can arrange for these things to be transported safely to where they are and everything. Curious, where does this equipment? This is high end equipment. Where do you get it from? Is it specifically made in the USA kind of stuff? Do you import stuff? How does that work? The stuff that you have.
So we work directly with manufacturers all over the world. Like I said, our brand is to try to get the best of
Mhm.
everything that we deal with. So when it comes to charger plates, where are the best charger plates made? We work directly with the manufacturers there.
Okay,
When it comes to chairs, where are the best chairs made? And so we don't have one place where we get
right.
ourselves. We have multiple
Makes
uh,
sense.
areas. Yes.
So you don't limit yourself that way. It's wherever the best is, we go get the best and we offer you the best, wherever that best may be found. Not to say we all our products must come from must be made in the United States or must be made in China. So whatever China has, good is or not good, that's what you get. Whatever is made in the USA, good or not good, that's what you get. So you really go, you've done the job for people. You've gone and actually selected, found it. I was looking at that website, just that I'm not the best screen sharer. I would have love to actually put that out there and so people can see what the quality of this stuff is. It is amazing. And I see that you've got staff. Just the way the staff is dressed is like, wow. Maybe I should actually try it. I do not know. You tell me. You tell me if I'm sharing my screen and you see what I'm trying to show. Real quick, let me see if I can do that. Where's the screen sharing thing? School is out, so it's been a while. When school was on, oh, trust me, I could go whip anything out when I wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and look. It's saying, no, it's not a video clip I'm trying to show. I'll find a way to pull it up. I don't want to stop to mess this up right now. But all I did was enter L&B concepts, hit the search thing, and it popped out there. And I saw the stuff, the pictures, the gallery, the streaming gallery there. Amazing. I tell you, it's impressive. It really is. Kudos to you.
Thank
So
you.
I happen to know that even though he just said his name is Bertrand and went on off, I happen to know that it is Dr. Bertrand and that we happen to be in the same town here in Charlotte. So I know you work as a doctor, which is why I'm going to go to the next question, which is, how have you fared through the pandemic? Was a doctor that works in a hospital, how have you fared through the pandemic?
So far, so good. We thank God. It's been hectic, as you can imagine, caring for COVID patients every day in the emergency department, especially in the height of the pandemic. It was very, very, very hectic. But we thank God for the breakthroughs in science. We thank God for His blessings. We well, and we're on the other side of it now.
Right. I think we finally turned the corner. And how did it work for you, Laura? Because he's working in the deep. I would be scared. I'd be worried for him. I'd even worried for myself too, because we hear the strangest stories about who put who out to, the couch, who said you need to stay in the garage,
Mm-hmm.
because who did the sign of the cross, protect me, Jesus, from this person. We hear those kind of stories. So how did it work for you, Laura, in that time?
Well, I always believe in my faith. And they say when you have faith, you shouldn't have fear.
Mhm.
And we got married for better or for worse. So COVID, it was a situation where if you do let your guard down and you don't help your partner, it's gonna affect both of you. So I had to be the stronger person when he comes back from work to make sure that he does the necessary precautions all the way to the shower to come back and before he comes back to eat. So
Right.
from when he walks in through the door, there was a procedure for us to follow before he goes on and takes a shower. So from the hospital, it was my duty to make sure that he was well taken care of when he got home.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I saw it's more news. My husband works out of the country, and when he came home, he had. I'm laughing because it was quite a movie to see here. He already sent a text before he got here to say, "Hey, you know how all of us will go to the airport to get him," and he said this time just my son should show up there, double masked, bring him home. The garage is where he put everything in there. I was like, as the neighbors were driving by, they must have been asking, "What is going on in this home?" So it really was something. And I would just jump right in there to say a special thank you to both of you, because when this COVID first started and we were all just scared and not knowing what to do, I got a phone call from Laura. She said, "Sis, go check your front porch." And I'm going like, what does that really mean? Go check my front porch, how? So I thought maybe she's come to visit. And so I go on out there, I don't see anything. She says, "Look, to your right or something, or to your left, wherever it is." And I go there and she had put this box of masks there, disposable masks and everything. You don't know how, now masks are common, people are making decorative ones, writing their names on stuff. Then we didn't have a thing. So those masks there, to talk about how that really just touched my heart. You both are good people. That's just the thing. And I was able to now put them a few in Ziploc bags and then call my neighbors and friends and say, "Come over to the porch there and pick your own," and put their names on them. Pick your own and go. Pick your own and go. No contact and that kind of thing. And she left them there. And by the time I came on out, I'm like, "Where are you?" She says, "Oh, look up the street. That's me in the car you see disappearing over disappearing over there." And so I'm sitting there waving and screaming and saying, thank you," and blowing kisses. But that really touched me. Um, that was something that you did good. So was that, do you want to talk about that? Was that because I know that you were trying to take care of him? Do you want to go into the fact that you didn't just take care of just him, but pretty much his colleagues?
Yes. So we do have procurement agents in Asia. We have a really good connection in Asia, and especially with the factories that we get most of our products from. So it was very difficult to get PPEs into the country. However, I have my contacts, or we do have our contacts in Asia. So I was able to leverage uh, PPEs with our contacts, and we're able to bring, actually, we brought 10,000 first into the country via DHL. And it was so hard to see my husband reusing masks. You know, you think of the safety, you think of everything. So when the 10,000 masks came in, we donated that to his hospital, and we donated some other 10,000 that came to my sister's hospital because she's also a physician.
Right.
So when we donated that, that's when the hospital started asking, how come the emergency department has masks? Where did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
So they said it was Dr. Forte's wife. So they contacted him for my number, And when they did that, I started getting calls from procurement agents, from the hospitals, from the government to help source out PPEs.
You see how wanting to do good can snowball and become something bigger. You wanted to take care of your husband, and then smart you says, "But I take care of my husband, but I still send him. He still goes on out there to meet people who are not protected." This
Exactly.
this was the most funny thing for people to be selfish with masks. I'm going, what sense does that make? So you take care of yourself, but then nobody else is well. You are going to catch it too then from the people. So it
Exactly.
made perfect sense to look after him and look after the people surrounding him. And in wanting to do that to them, and now bingo, out came this contract. A good turn never goes unrepaid somehow. So that's a wonderful thing. So while other businesses were crumbling, people were getting out of business. People are still out of business. My daughter works with Bank of America, and there's a whole section that they work in now, trying to help people out with loans who are about to go under. Where we live is a new neighborhood. You see, it said sold on this little lot like yesterday. You come back walking by there the next day, the sold sign is gone. The person who was going to get it, things have tanked for them. So I'm really, really happy for you all that you did not only survive COVID-19, you were able to thrive in it. And that comes with common sense. You see, no, it's just the truth. That you're able to see and sniff. It's a flare. Trust me, it's a flare. Some of us have no business sense whatsoever. An opportunity is staring you in the face. You're sitting there just looking and watching it pass right by. Somebody else is saying this and saying, hey, let's capitalize on this. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And then you're dynamic too. I notice my little sister here. China and the United States are not in the same time zone. So you call this girl, she's like, I'm trying to get some sleep. I was up all night talking to, I don't know who it is. Do you speak Chinese, by the way?
I've started understanding.
She does.
I wouldn't be surprised because she said, I've just been up all most of the night there talking. That is, I really am genuinely amazed at what you both have been able to do. Somebody with a job this demanding, I would say, okay, that's it. Not doing anything more. But then you both are able to get together and partner. And I wondered how that works. When do you stop being wifey and dear husband? And when do you become now like, okay, do you just everybody go into your room and you come up with a suit and sit and say, now I'm this. Okay, what are your titles, first of all? What are your official titles in L&B concepts?
So I'm the CEO and she's a COO.
Okay.
She's the Chief Operating Officer and I'm the Chief Executive Officer.
So how do you navigate that? Because some of us are sitting there just to be married and be the real married thing. We are like, there for marriage. We go to our offices, we complain about our bosses. Oh my goodness, Lord, help me from killing this person. How do you manage both? Be husband and wife, and then be office people. I mean, like business people, professional people. How does it work? Who wants to answer?
I think the key is understanding that we have the same goal. And we're working towards the same purpose and we're a team.
Mm-hmm.
And the concept of team, like I always say, teamwork makes the dream work. If you don't work together as a team, then you don't achieve the goal and everybody loses, right?
Right.
So at the times when we have difference of opinion, absolutely. And then you just explain why, we talk things through. And at the end of the day, you look at the picture in front of you, what are you trying to achieve? And that's how you manage this.
So you look at what's best, even if it means, okay, I was wrong on this one. I thought maybe this is we should go, but then somebody has explained it to you and says, see, if we did it this way, here are the dangers. If we did it this way. So, and each person is humble enough to say, okay, I think you're right. Let's go this way. I was just wondering though, Laura, we women tend to have intuition. We have a sixth sense. Does that come into play at all? Or do you look at things rigidly by the book and say, this makes sense, 2 + 2 is 4? Or do you sometimes have an instinct about something working or not working or being fishy, as in, let's not go there? Because sometimes we don't even quite have reasons. That's the thing about what I've noticed about us women. He says, why not? And I'm going, I don't look this Joe so. there's just something there. And he says, what exactly? Because they tend to be planners. Like he has his Excel spreadsheet. This, where do I enter this thing you just said? And I'm going, I don't have a scientific thing. I just have a sick. Does that happen to you at all?
Actually, it doesn't, because the way we work
Mm-hmm.
together, he's very good at explaining. Before he says no, he
Uh-huh.
will actually give you a scenario
Mm-hmm.
before he says the no. And he's very good at accounting and bookkeeping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very good at sourcing out and anything else that is out there.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to, for example, a lot of arguments come from the finances.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to go way overboard, or I want to spend this amount of money. But we do have monthly meetings, believe it or not.
Keyword, debate, not argument.
Yes, debate. Okay. We do have monthly meetings.
Uh-huh.
And during those monthly meetings, we do discuss about our budget. We do discuss about our financial, you know, we do financial strategize pretty much, you know. And he is good at saying, okay, this is the amount that I've allocated for this. Let's work around this amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how, you know, we pretty much do it. You have to plan.
Right.
And because I've seen that that has worked in the past and has been working, there is really no reason to argue, because you cannot use your sixth sense and your intuition when it comes to business, because
Uh-huh.
you can lose a lot of money.
Right.
So you definitely, yeah, you definitely have to plan.
Mm-hmm. And do what makes sense
Yeah.
Exactly.
scientifically, even if, yeah, what go by the book pretty much, instead of just saying, my heart don't tell me say, and something so little things that doesn't have a place there. And that's why you're successful that way. And that, you see, you've discovered each other's strengths. That's you talked about the team, about teamwork before. That's it right there. What I lack, you complement. And then I know that that's what you're good at. So when you give me advice on that sphere where you are king, comfortable, I know to take it because you know what you're talking about. And then when it comes to something that is not quite your forte, then you defer to that opinion, because they are the person that, I hope people are listening. I hope people are watching and listening. Maybe they should get notebooks out and just take notes. Is that how you would approach your marriage too? If you felt that there was something that you wanted to discuss with him, do you just, is it a meeting? Do you say, let's have a weekly, monthly talk about it? Or is it just a kind of impromptu thing? Because some people do that. They choose to sit down after a week, a month or something and just say, where are we in this thing? How are you feeling? Is everything okay? Is that the kind of thing you would do? Are you doing that only in business or in your marriage itself?
We do that in our marriage as well. I would say yearly we do have the family budget, and he's good at coming up with that.
Uh-huh.
And he's also good at asking, do you have anything in mind that you think we should add to the budget for the year?
Mm-hmm.
And if a situation arises, for example, in the marriage, if it's something I don't like, or vice versa, we handle it immediately.
You don't allow it to fester.
You know, exactly.
No, it's about communication. You know, we talk a lot. We talk to each other with each other as existing partners, as to say it. You know, and that's the way it should be, really. Because then it's the more you communicate with each other, the easier it is to resolve issues. And just once again, it's about the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
You know that we want the best for each other, right? Then we're all working towards the same goal. I'm talking about from the marriage aspect. Then it's a lot easier to deal with disagreement, because you know that even though this person is coming from a different perspective, I know that in their heart, they're trying to achieve the same endpoint as I am. It's a lot easier to have those conversations and we turn around and explain and understand each other.
That is amazing. And you've been married, like you said, 7 years. It's good to have come to that point so soon and so early. Some of us got kicking and screaming to the point where you actually sit and say, because for me, I will be looking at something and saying, hey, I don't see what the big deal is with this. Not understanding that if it is a big deal to the person, no matter what that it is, and you don't quite see it, it is a big deal, period.
Correct.
So I'm like, okay, he just doesn't, this is not just his thing. And I'm like, but why not? So and so thing, so and so thing. as opposed to understanding that this is how this person happens to feel about this thing, and you honor it. They just don't like it. There's no way to start telling the person you need to do this or you need to do that. You understand, you come from the premise that they want what's best for you, and you trust it, and they won't do anything to hurt you, and you trust that. Because that's what I look around and see, and people come in with very individualistic ideas, and I'm going, how is that going to work in a marriage? If you're wanting what's best for you at somebody else's expense, that's not likely to work. So,
There's no I in team.
yep, true.
It's
True.
about us. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about I. It's about us.
Mm-hmm. And I've watched you all even in public, the way you interact. Sometimes I look at the videos and I would laugh, or the pictures on Facebook, and I would laugh my lungs out. The one that comes to mind is Bertrand. He was killing this Bikutsi. I don't think. And Laura is like, look at this. Look at this one. I was trying to get her to laugh, and she found it funny too, but was trying not to laugh too loud. It was an amazing thing to see the chemistry between you two, and that's an important thing. When you get along that well, as you're saying, gisting partners, that is already a good foundation. You're friends first before having the title of CEO or COO, or being Dr. this or Mrs. this. I like what I see. I really do. And I'm decades older than you both, but I have a healthy respect for what I see you all do. So if you're giving advice, because you are in a position to actually give advice, you don't say, since you're a medical doctor, sometimes I go, these doctors, gynecologists, I look at them and I'm going, do you really know what you're talking about? I'm sitting here, how can you know what these birth pains are like? You really quite don't know. Or the priest who is giving advice on marriage, like, were you married before? So you actually have proven in the time that you've done this. Look at this business. When did L&B Concepts start? When was it launched?
19, right?
So you've done a good enough parkour, both in your personally and career-wise. What advice do you have to give to other people? Somebody sitting there and saying, maybe I could try my hand at this. What kind of advice would you give them?
Well, the advice I'll give is, if you have any dream, follow your dream and bring it to reality. And if you are married, the husband should definitely support the wife, and the wife should support the husband. It should be a team. There is no way out to make the business succeed if you don't work as a team. Because psychologically, that helps a lot. Which I'll quote an example. When I travel to Asia, he's out here. There are a lot of pro forma invoices that I have to pay. And sometimes I have like 16-hour days and I'm so exhausted. But I'm confident, in the fact that I would take a screenshot of the pro forma invoice and send it to him on WhatsApp. Within 10 minutes, he's paid it for me. That relieves the stress.
Right.
So for anybody that wants to start a business, or if you do see that your wife, has a skill that could be successful, always support her. Or if your husband is trying to do something or a business venture, you, the wife, should support your husband instead of us just going with a normal behavior. I don't tire me. I don't tire.
Right. Oh, that's
yes.
what a damper.
Yes, I found out that you shouldn't undermine any business, because you'll be amazed at the end of the year how much money or how much revenue that brings in.
Right. Something that you wouldn't have necessarily thought would necessarily be. Look at, nobody quite saw this pandemic coming. We all were dancing away there in 2019. Bonane came. We were like, yes, and then bam, it hit. And but then when the time came, you spotted the opportunity and made good use of it, perfect use of it. And I hear you what you're saying, and I hope people who plan on doing this are listening. And I can tell you've talked about it, you've mentioned it, teamwork, and wanting to, what you just said there now was kind of like standing in the gap, being ready, as opposed to saying, "Well, look, that's your job now. You are the pro forma person. You're not yet. It will come back and meet up you."
Teamwork makes the dream work.
You know, I don't even know how to tell. I've tried to tell a few younger sisters and things about how you cannot be this rigid. And some people think it's a necessarily a material thing. I was telling somebody the other day and they were quite amused because I was saying, for me, there's nothing sexier than for me to come back from work and find that this person who is here on leave has taken the time to actually cook.
Exactly.
I don't want, look, I don't mind rings and jewelry, but frankly, I don't want no ring and no jewelry at that time. You're not going to be impressing me if you came kneeling down and giving me this. What I am right now is exhausted. And so the fact that I have come home and somebody has taken a stand, I don't care if there is too much salt in it, if there's pepper, I will cough and sneeze my way through that meal because somebody took the time to say, this person is going to be tired. Let me cover up here. And then sometimes you see a person who, that guy has done all of that, and your reaction, once you taste it, is to say, salt pass, pepper no do. Are you for real? This person has done his last belly. This is it. I will swallow that pan there, lick the thing, and say, let me give you a big old hug. That what you just said right there, as you said, it needs doing. That is not part of what his job description says, but it needs doing. It's for the good of the business, so for the common good, go ahead and do it, as opposed to saying, it's this role. Since when, person like me, you send me for grocery store, man picking like me, I go, I'm like, what is this?
We need to eradicate that mentality because that's affecting a lot of marriages. That's really affecting, especially the part of the kitchen as well. You know, especially the wife, you go out and you have busy days. There are times I get up and my husband and I will realize that I have to be in Asia in like the next day or in 2 days. And I have to think about what he's going to eat. And sometimes when I'm gone for 2 weeks to a month. And he tells me, baby, don't worry, I'll take care of myself.
Right.
You know, that
frees you to now
yes.
focus on the planning. And when you're able to now focus on the planning, then the business does well. Then you are happy. It's not rocket science, but it is for some people who don't quite see the effect of it down the road. So it's like, okay, she has to go, but you got to cook my chop before you go. So she's running up and down there. Then she forgets the thing she was supposed to take with her. Then she forgets the so and doesn't meet the appointments. Then the business doesn't go like it should. And then when the thing tanks, you're like surprised. Why? It took that planning, it took that thing and the willingness. It really comes from, as you're saying, I think he said it first at the very beginning, what do you want? What is that supposed to be the end, the goal of this thing? What are we in this for? If we need to make it succeed, then we do what it takes to make it succeed. That is awesome. Any lessons you've learned, because you seem to have come into this really prepared. Anything that along the way that you've gone, oh, I didn't know that this is how this works. Oh, wow. Lesson learned, maybe not do this the next time. Anything like that?
I mean, I think maybe not so much lessons learned, but lessons I can share is you really have to do your homework before you embark on any venture. I think that's something that a lot of people forget or fail to do. You know, any business venture can be extremely creative, but there will be bumps on the road. You know, the road to success has a lot of speed bumps. You need to understand that. But by doing the homework, by being prepared, it's a lot easier to overcome those speed bumps. And that's the thing. You know, don't give up on your dreams. You know, so because sometimes things will not work good the way you expect them, and it's so easy to just say, you know what, it's not working, I'm done. But once again, just have to have faith. You just have to keep trying. You just have to sit back and say, why did this happen? What can I learn from this situation? And once you can answer those two questions, you move forward. And that's our philosophy. And I think that has worked well for us.
And if I may add also, the financial aspect of it is very important. Along the way, um, listening to him, who is like the expert in financial planning and putting the budget together, um, I've learned to find out that when you have your finances together, because he's really strict, do not go overboard.
Yeah.
And I know that I don't have to go overboard, which helps me. It keeps me in track, especially when I'm out in Asia.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have to go overboard, I contact him, which that's where the communication comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, baby, this, I came to this factory and I think we budgeted for this, but I don't knock price so this chinois them, they don't hold grass, then he would say, okay, why don't we go up this way if this is what they want? And then in that case, he will adjust it.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I come back from my trips, we have to go through all the invoices
Mm-hmm.
and reconcile everything.
Right.
So the
Oh.
finances, that's the most important thing,
Mm-hmm.
which I've learned that will bring arguments in relationships, in businesses. You have to, that exposure, or transparency is very important. You have to be transparent.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be
That is,
transparent.
that is a key word right there. That's a key word right there, because you're talking about when you come back, then all the books are there. And you can see, here's what happened, here's what happened. And it's not as if you went and took a rash decision out there. When things were going to go different from what you had planned, you go back to the person to say, here's what has happened. As opposed to saying, I just reach for day, as I see, so I just decide, say, okay, I just do, and you've gone and done double what was budgeted. And then now he's mad, and you're like, what you vex for? You don't trust me or not? And then it's a different, it's a totally different thing. It's I can see. I'm looking and observing two things. I can so see why this is working, and I can so see why other things that I have seen are not working. Right there, in explaining how you function, I can see exactly why I see other things that are not functioning. And one or two things that I'm even listening, that even me who's been married, 31 years soon, that I can still learn. That's what people don't understand. You keep learning, you keep learning, you keep
Exactly.
observing, and you learn from anyone and anybody. If it's a valid lesson, you learn it. From a child, you could learn something. From anybody talking about this, and when people are listening and actually learning. So I already talked about how to contact you. Okay, do you have an office? Is there a place somebody can drive to and say, it says there on the building, L&B Concepts?
Yes, we do. It's in Laurel, Maryland, 9435 Washington Boulevard North, Suite A, Laurel, Maryland.
Say that a little slower so somebody who's listening from Maryland, they can get it, even though they know they can go online, but let's just say it again.
It's 9435 Washington Boulevard, Unit A, Laurel, Maryland, 20723.
Okay. And so when you walk into that facility, that venue that you just said, what do you see? Who do you see? What do you see? Is that where there actually is a warehouse kind of place right there? A shop? What is it you see?
We have a showroom. So you enter into our showroom, which is put together by our team of professionals. Looks really good. At least I'm biased, but because the idea was that we want to change the culture in society. We want to start a new trend where, especially for couples, where people can start doing their pre-wedding pictures, at the rental facility.
Oh, so you have, that's what you talked about, a showroom. It's already set up in a way where they can come and actually use that to take. That is awesome.
You want to start telling that story, right? The experience. So it's very picturesque. We have a team, a staff that is there, and customer service is extremely important to us. And our staff knows that, and every customer any potential customer that walks through that door, it's a VIP for us. So I have to take time to make sure that they have a good experience. So that's what you see when you walk into the doors of L&B Concepts.
And that
Service.
tells me right then, not to cut you short, if you say that the staff works that way, obviously they got trained then. Is that what I'm getting? They got trained? Because
Correct.
generally, we all know the stars, you go to the post office, you haven't seen rude till you go through this, somebody's sitting there or on their phone, hey, blah, blah, blah. So I know we come in all shapes and sizes and all forms. If you're telling me that that's the kind of service that they get, the customer is a VIP, that tells me somebody sat them down and trained them. So what did you do? Put them through the training, your own selves actually make them go through somebody else's, somebody organized a seminar, or how was that done?
We did personal training. I've traveled a lot out of the country before we engaged into this business and attended seminars with guest speakers
Uh-huh.
who have been successful in this business venture. And customer service was mostly the highlight of of most seminars.
Mhm.
So coming back, we sat them down, trained them well, and most of them, I think all of them also have been in a customer service job before.
Okay, so they
So,
feel well recommended.
correct, but we also trained them specifically how we want to change the rental industry, because if you go to most event rental places,
Mhm.
you have things everywhere. They get their money, whether you like it or not. They know that you will need the chairs. They
Yeah.
don't go the extra mile to keep the place clean, to make it picturesque, to give you good customer service, even if you're renting or not, because that's what we kind of faced during our wedding as well. We went to some places and you just had to walk out of there and you're thinking about the amount of money you're going to spend at
Mhm.
this place.
Yeah.
The customer service was very poor. They don't give you that one-to-one attention, one-on-one attention,
Mhm.
or they are dressed in some kind, very unprofessional.
Right.
So that's why we took the extra mile to make sure that anybody that walks in through, for example, like he talked about our showroom,
Mhm.
when you get engaged, they take pictures of your engagement.
Mhm.
Now, the next thing is you're planning for your wedding.
Mhm.
You're planning for your wedding, you cannot take pictures at an event place because things are everywhere.
Right.
It doesn't look presentable to take pictures. So our whole idea was from your engagement to when you're picking your pictures,
Mhm.
to when you're picking your items for your event, you can also create an album. You're not ashamed of where you went
Right.
because of how it looked.
And those of us who are into showing pictures, we have to crop everything. You're trying to erase the thing that's over there. There was an untidy little bag down there, waterproof, was showing somewhere. Oh, I tell you, you don't know how much I appreciate what I'm hearing there. Because I do a blog and somebody has sent pictures for me to put, and I'm going, how am I going to put this thing? There's a big fat cover pot sitting in the thing, in the cover there at the back of the thing. How am I going to do this? So even I at my own little level can appreciate that. And you've already done that groundwork for them. And you see, even the person that may not, as you said, whether they use whether they actually get your services or not, they may not that time, but it's already stuck. The impression is already stuck in their brain.
And
When they need it,
just the way they are being treated, psychologically, that creates an impact.
it does. I have bought things that I did not need. Just how sweet the person was. I'm actually feeling bad to leave their store and not get something because they came and welcomed me so much. I'm like, okay, how much is this scarf right here? My daughter is even saying, you already have a scarf that looks like that. I just buy this. I just buy it too because the person is so nice. You almost feel bad to be leaving without having done something. People don't understand how the effect of it is. As you're saying, they say, well, you need the chairs. You'll get them no matter what. But when you come and when your service now comes, that is a notch above, and where people feel comfortable and pleasant, it's going to succeed. And then people start to say, why? And they're upset. Do you see what the person is doing, what they're putting into the thing? It happens like that all the time. And somebody say, there's some even say, now which on nyungu, on which way you put for that, it is the way you change the succeed. So no, it isn't. It's not. It is the serve. It is a service.
So it's got to create a remarkable experience for anybody that works and you pay attention to detail. And yeah.
Where the person feels like they matter, they're not just somebody who just walked through the door and what money can you get out of me? You treat them nicely, you treat them like they matter, you treat them like what they should be. They say the customer is paying.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's something, I tell students at work and my colleagues to say, when a patient comes to see me, you know, they know that I've got the training, so they expect that I'll take care of them.
Mhm.
But I need to show them that I care about them. That
Right.
is where the difference is.
Right.
And it's the same thing, we need to show that when I walk in there, yes, we've got the chairs, we've got the stuff for you to rent. Yeah, we can get that for you. But it's not about that. It's about you, the client. If you feel like this would actually care about my needs, care about me, take the time, I think it goes a long way.
It does. It's not a matter of I think it is true. And it works like that in every profession I teach. If you see the kid that you say who has been very burly, standoffish, almost rude, the day you say, wow, love that shirt. That what you have, that is so, come and see the big one. You got a smile out of him. He's sitting there for the first time, he has raised his hand to try to answer something. He may give you the wrongest answer ever, but you see that he's at least opening up. That kind of thing, it works for every human being, no matter what age. If you make somebody feel good, they return that back, they give that back to you. They feel more comfortable and you would have achieved your aim. You know what I was planning to do? I was going to go and start doing the sober thing, but I have a feeling that if I start that chapter now, we will be here. We'll be here forever. I could actually sit and talk to you forever, and you would miss your flight to I don't know where it is, and he would miss work and that kind of thing. We have talked, and I am so impressed. And I'm definitely sure that people listening to us are just as impressed because they've gotten to know how a successful business can and should be run. You see how sometimes the problem with people is they are also trying to do the jack of all trades and master of none. So the same lady says, I will cook the equal. I will sew your wedding dress, my own self. I will clear the dish. And I see them running up and down like a headless chicken, almost collapsing, trying to be the one-stop, the be it all, not even the one-stop shop. Because when you said you're a one-stop shop, it's not that you do all of these things. You said clearly, I will tell you where to go get your dress done. I will tell you where to go get your tux fitted. I can tell you or suggest to you, I'm not even telling you that you must go there, but I'm giving you suggestions of people that I have vetted that I can work with. And I'm saying that why? Because sometimes that's what happens to our dear African business people. They give you that business card and it's full. The business card actually is a 3x5 index card because it says everything in tiny print that they say they can do, including cure malaria, right on that little card. No, you can't. You can't. I hope this is just a fantastic thing. The stuff you need, they are giving you access to, but they're not the ones doing all of that.
Exactly.
That's what I've gotten. So you don't drive your own selves crazy trying to do all of that stuff. But people come to you because they know they will have access to quality service. Now, I'll just ask, I'm not asking for specific prices because they can go there. Are your prices competitive? Are they the kind of ones that go to go, we can't afford that, let's not even try?
I think we're the cheapest. We're the cheapest in the area because we source our stuff directly from the factory. So we are able to cut out the middleman cost. So we have, I will take pride in the fact that our stuff is better quality than a lot of what they have out there, but the prices are cheaper because we cut down that middleman cost. Because a lot of stuff that leaves from Asia, by the time it gets here, it might have passed through 3 or 4 people, and everybody adds their prices on it. So we get it directly from the factory, so we're able to provide affordable items.
And in addition to the cost, one advantage of us working directly with manufacturers is the things are made to our specifications.
There you go.
Everything is made custom for us. This is how we want it. this is what we need, and it is made to. We have folks that will go and inspect, everything, such that that if it's got the LMB name on it, it is, the real deal.
And we listen to our customers also. Like
I was going to ask.
Right. We listen to a lot of our customers when they come. Oh, why? It'll be nice if we have gray, or it would be nice if we have white, or it will be nice if it looked this way. So we do take a tally. If it gets to a certain number of people asking for that specific stuff, we are able to customize it to meet their needs.
Right. Right. So when they come, sorry, you're going to say something?
I was going to say the other thing too is continuous research, seeing what the market trends is. For any business, you have to know your market. You have to keep working. It may be hard to get to the top, but it's even harder to stay at the top. Right. You gotta keep doing your homework, so things are constantly evolving. We're making sure that we're on top of the industry.
Right. Because don't forget, the name carries your names already. It says L&B, that's the L is Laura, the B is Bertrand. So it says right there on the thing, it's embossed, it's your stamp. You have created the brand from the ground up. You've made it, you've given it a name. People are proud to say, where did you get your stuff from? I got it from L&B, and they say it like, because that's the top end thing. Then you don't want the thing to go, it's not even the kind of thing like I teach, and then maybe at the end of the year, all my students fail, and then they're like, okay, well, this is like people are sitting right there in the hall, taking pictures. Your brand is already like there showing. It's not even a down the road thing. It's already there on display, and you can go proudly. People take the pictures and say, this is what I got this from. And word of mouth, the word would carry. I'm hoping that this is part of the reason why I wanted to do this. People should know that it even exists to start with. And people should know that's an option that they have. Try it, go see it. And sometimes my advice is going to be, don't also be penny wise and pound foolish, where you sit and say, okay, we'll just go use this solo cup. It doesn't look this solo cup from BJ's and Sam's Club. There is a thing, I don't even know what it is to say. Sometimes you look at a package and you're going, that's good. And you're trying to put your finger on what exactly is it? It's a package, it's a general look. I'm looking at what I see in the background of your home right there. It's taste. And for me, taste, you got it or you don't got it. I know that's bad English, or you don't. It's a flair. It's a flair people have. Go to where somebody knows it, and it may not be even the cost, because you could go spend billions and put something together. It just isn't jiving. I don't know if that's what people still use. It's clashing. And you're going like, I spent $1 billion, and then this person spent maybe half that amount, but everybody's going, about it. There's something. So there's a touch that you all have. You have the Midas touch. You also have the flair. So there you go. There you go. And
the touch comes out.
There you go. And I like the humility I see, because I see you, as I said, out in public. No, for Bertrand, I had the name before I saw the person. At where there was I think there was a kind of like somebody had lost somebody, and then we're all sitting there. It wasn't the wake yet, the people had just come to greet them. And he came in, it's been a while since I saw that 2-hand greeting. There was a mommy sitting there. There's a mommy sitting there. And he came, so where mommy and the mommy was all smiles just sitting there. And then somebody said to me, that's Dr. Bertrand Fote. Because when you all got married here, I had traveled, there was something happening in England, I had left, so I wasn't there. And when I got to see the person, I was pleasantly surprised to see how down to earth. Wife's the same. She could be sitting somewhere there and just watching the parties going on, and she's sitting there and she's watching. And you'd have to be told that this is the person. Sometimes you hear the name before you see the people, but you are a petit frère, as I say, and a petit sœur after my own heart. Kudos to you. For me, if I see something that is good and that is like, I will talk about it. Sabino, it's not hiding. It's there. Go check out. She gave you the address, or just simply go on your cell phone, on your desktop, tablet, whatever it is.
The website is www.lnbconcepts.com.
That's it. You don't remember it's that simple. You heard it, L&B, it's their names. L&B Concepts, Google it, enter it anyway, it will pop up. I didn't want to take the risk of spoiling all of this, but it will pop up. Go check it out for yourselves. The day I saw just the uniform, what the personnel wears, I was like, oh wow, I haven't seen that before. Probably I'm just a bit of a urban bush girl, but I haven't seen that before. I'm being very frank. It's as professional as
That was all designed by me.
That's why he was pointing. That's why I was pointing. You see, that's the fantastic job. Fantastic job. And I hope we all learn to now raise the bar that way. And what you put out there is what you reflect. So when somebody says that you take your work so seriously, that you've done all of this with it, then you'd attract not just African population, you'd attract anybody, Asian, anybody who wants quality can go there and get the quality irrespective of what you're used to. Just
affordable quality.
That's the key. Try it. Don't take our words for it. Go on there and you look at it your own self. See what it is that you're getting. You get your money's worth. You definitely do. So I would just let you catch your breaths and just thank you. I'm going to be. You all will be back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You all will definitely be back, and I'm going to get Bertrand on his sober stuff there. I don't go to many things around, but when there's a sober thing happening in this town, I go. It's a big deal. And I'm impressed with what you have done with the thing. We heard about the fire in Sase, and next thing I saw, mattresses have been donated, and I'm sitting there and just feeling really, really proud because I like doers, not just talk, a lot of boom, as they say, and we're not seeing action. So I doff my gele to you. And I can only wish you the very best in every single aspect, in your home, in your marriage, and in your business. So do you have a last word before we go?
I just want to thank you so much for having us on your show. We appreciate you. And we hope that we're able to say a few things that can help a few people, because at the end of the day, if we can make a difference in a life or two, then it's definitely worth it. So we appreciate you. Thank you. God bless.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Laura, anything?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right.
If you've gotten nothing else from all of this stuff that we've been saying, I hope that catchphrase right there, when you want to do something that's not following that mantra right there, check yourself, and remember, as he had said before, no I in team, work together, make that marriage work, make that business work. All right, then, my people, my peeps, it was a pleasure talking to you. God bless.
God bless.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.